ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Wednesday, November 12th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. We're coming to you live today from the Cam Henderson Center. Affectionately, we're at the Paul Swann Pavilion. I'm actually, this year, I am center right of the band instead of center left of the band. So a new view for me. I'm excited for today's game, the Thundering Herd, getting ready to take on Elon. Marshall, like a little payback. Elon beat the Herd last December. It was December 28th last year. Elon won the game 73-59. Now, that was an interesting game as well because Billy Taylor, the head coach of Elon, was not there, and he was sick. So Ryan Saunders, assistant, filled in last season. So this will be Coach Jackson's second shot at Elon, and this will be Billy Taylor's first true game against the Thundering Herd. You know, Billy's been around for a long time, and I looked at the records. He was in the MAC for a long time, and Marshall, when Billy was in the MAC, never actually crossed paths with him. So this will be the first matchup between Coach Jackson, Coach Taylor, Elon, and Billy Taylor's squad versus a Marshall squad. So should be a fun one today. They score a lot of points, let me tell you. Now, take this with a grain of salt, but they beat Belmont Abbey 99-51. Won that game. That was a home game. Just ran away with it. But then they ran into a sterner test. On the road at UNC Greensboro, had to go to overtime to win it 92-90, and it was a 3-point shot that forced the overtime. The Thundering Herd, on the other hand, had to come back against Toledo, down by 10, and won that game 85-73. Keep that in mind. Marshall put over 50 points on the board in that game. But the two games that Marshall's been in, 78-72 win on the road at UMass, and then the 85-73 victory at Toledo. So the Herd is averaging over 81 points a contest, whereas Elon averaging 95.5. Now, again, I take that with a grain of salt. They can put the points up, but I don't know enough about Belmont Abbey to really say, well, that was a good team, and they just ran away with it. But I kind of have a feeling they still are a potent offense with the result against UNC Greensboro. But the scoring margin, it's a little skewed at 25 points a contest. But there are a lot of stats. We're going to go over some of that a little bit later on. Marshall's defense has been key for the first two wins, holding opponents to 72.5. Elon holds opponents to 70.5. Also, the rebound margin, that's been key for the Herd, and Elon's been successful with that as well. Marshall has a 7-rebound margin, averaging 7 more than the opponent. Elon's averaging 8.5 more. So, again, so many numbers. We're going to go over all of that a little bit. We've also got coming up here shortly, and I'm excited about this. We haven't talked to him in a while. Gerald Harrison is going to be joining us here in a few minutes. He is the Vice President, Director of Athletics at Marshall University. So he's going to join us in the next segment. But we're going to talk to him about the first 2-3 months of him being the Athletic Director at Marshall University. What's the transition been like, some early priorities, some things that maybe he's accomplished that he's happy about. We're going to get into all of that with him. So that's coming up later on. And, of course, the fun part of the show. We're going to talk to you. Our text line this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Later on 93.7 The Dog and right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, we're going to have college basketball today. We'll preview the Elon matchup a little bit more in detail. The Hall of Famer, Bill Cornwell, will be joining us later on that broadcast, so we'll be previewing the matchup. So keep it locked right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, and we'll be joining everyone on 93.7 The Dog at 6 o'clock. Of course, game time set for 7 o'clock, and then right after the game, stay right here. We'll have post-game coverage. We'll have interviews. Also, we'll get your feedback. Hopefully, it's a Marshall victory, and we're looking forward to our first home post-game show of the season. We're going to try to call on Tim Stevens to come on the program a little bit later on. He's setting up right next to us. He doesn't know that, but he's being conned into the show. We've got Gerald Harrison coming up in a little bit, so we'll have him. But, Tim, you've got an hour or two before the game. Come on over. Let's talk to you for a second. Tim Stevens from HD Media. He is the 2023 National Sports Media Association Sports Writer of the Year. Good to see you again. You've been pretty busy. The last time we get a chance to talk to you, it was about the decision that Ironton would not participate in the Ohio playoffs. The school board actually met. It was yesterday. What did you learn from that?
Learned that they're going to, at their next board meeting, December 15th, they plan to reveal all the details, or at least most of the details, of the investigation by the OHSAA and who did what with whom and that type of thing. In the meantime, we're finding out a little more here and there, so it's going to be interesting. I know the fans were not real happy about the OHSAA ruling and felt that their youngsters were disrespected and denied a chance at the playoffs. So we'll see what comes out of that. It's an interesting situation.
Has the anger shifted from mad at the school board to totally mad at the Ohio High School Athletic Association, or is there still a little bit of both?
There's a little bit of both. They thought the school board should have sued the OHSAA, or at least the speakers who spoke yesterday did. And they're still mad at the OHSAA for handing down the sanctions, which included no playoffs this season. So they're not happy about that. And $7,500 fine, and coaches not able to coach in the postseason for the next 3 seasons. So they're not happy all the way around. It hasn't changed any at all.
I'm curious. Who pays the fine?
Yeah, that's a good question. There was a GoFundMe type thing going on to raise money to pay the fine. It would come out of the school district's coffers, I do suppose, but I don't know how much, if any, they raised from fans to pay the $7,500 fine, but they were trying to.
Tim Stevens is with us from HD Media, and, of course, he's going to be covering the game because Tyler Kennett, he is in Morgantown, and so we'll have coverage of soccer coming up tonight. We'll have some post-game reaction as well. And, of course, Tim, I'll see you in the post-game. We're going to take our first break because when we continue, hey, it couldn't get any bigger than you, Tim, but we've got, believe it or not, a bigger guest coming on the program.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Marshall's Director of Athletics, Gerald Harrison, joins us on the other side of the break here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Injured in a wreck? Warner Law Offices is now here for you in Huntington on 4th Avenue across from the courthouse. Personal, local, decades of experience.
Call 345-6789.
Buddy's All-American Barbecue, now delivering straight to your door. Wings, ribs, brisket, and more. Order online today at WVBBQ.com. Great barbecue, ice-cold beer, and killer wings, all without leaving your couch. In Huntington.
Transform your outdoors all year long with Roberts Lawn Care and Landscaping. Family owned and operated, serving the tri-state area with expert landscaping services. From vibrant spring gardens to cozy fall patios and everything in between. Roberts specializes in sustainable landscaping that thrives through every season, residential or commercial. Roberts creates personalized solutions to bring your vision to life. Call Roberts today at 304-633-5822 because your dream yard deserves 4 seasons of care.
Earn more with 4 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Polka Valley Bank. Polka Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 4%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by one of the 8 Polka Valley Bank locations today. Polka Valley Bank, where relationships matter.
Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield. Subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Polka Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
Following a record-breaking October, University Ford is ready to honor those that served and those that support them with extra discounts you won't find anywhere. New Escapes up to $8,000 off. New Rangers up to $5,000 off. And the largest selection of F-Series, even Super Duties, take up to $10,000 off. All with up to 125% of KDB value for your trade. New ownership, improved processes, better deals. Better deals. The bow tie means a better buy. It's a November to remember at UniversityFordWV.com. See deals for complete details on all offers.
Mark Twain Tonight. Emmy Award-winning actor Richard Thomas brings to life the nation's one true comic genius.
It's a comical invention, the human race, any way you look at it.
Join the millions who have cheered for the legendary one-man show by Hal Holbrook. Don't miss Mark Twain Tonight.
Out of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most.
Wednesday, December 3rd at the Jonesy Edwards Playhouse. For tickets, call the Martial Artist Series at 304-696-6656 or Ticketmaster.com.
Our Kendrick Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
the providers at Marshall OBGYN. Online at marshallhealth.com/OBGYN. The Area Agency of Aging, Southern Ohio's designated Aging and Disability Resource Network, and Swisher and Losey, independently owned with free local delivery and drive-through service. 636 East Main Street in Pomeroy, Ohio.
Step into the magic of the season at Christmas at the Keith. Enjoy festive holiday tours and a Christmas tree auction inside the beautiful historic Keith Albee Performing Arts Center. Tour the decked halls November 14th through the 22nd. See stunning trees, bid on your favorite, and take home some holiday cheer. Learn more at keithalbee.com. Christmas at the Keith is sponsored by our community-minded partner, Kindred Communications.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to this Wednesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Want to welcome to the program now the Vice President and Director of Athletics, Gerald Harrison. Getting ready for Marshall and Elon, first regular season game at home for the Thundering Herd. And as I was talking to you in the break, if you haven't been to the Henderson Center just yet, you've begun. It's already a lot more spruced up. Is that a fair term? There's some different things in the concourses. Those new end zone seats are really sharp. So already you can feel just a difference in the building.
One thing we want to do is we wanted to. When you have an older building, you got to refresh it a little bit, and I have some experience with that at the Dunn Center in Clarksville. It was a little bit of an older building, and one of the things we wanted to focus on was an attention to detail. So the floor was already started before I got here, and it's a great job there, but our concourses were a little dated. Well, how do you do that? You got to use some wall graphics. You got to do some things. Some of it's just a little TLC, a little power washing, a little changing out some light bulbs and things, but we've done a lot of new courtside seating, the suites above us that with a new plan. So there's some better things here at the CAM for our fans to enjoy every game.
And I know you're big on aesthetics because if it looks good, you feel good, right?
Exactly. I'm not Coach Prime, but I do believe that look good, you play good, and I think everything has to be recruit ready. Anytime we want to show this facility, whether it's to our fans, to our prospect, to a donor, we want to make sure that this building looks the way it's supposed to look. And that's the same for all of our athletic facilities. We're not where we're going to be, but we are off to a fast start.
You've been here on the job now with 2-3 months, and early on you've kind of started to transition into what is Marshall about, what does Marshall look like under you as the athletic director. What's been the transition for you those first 2-3 months, and what were some of those early priorities that you needed to tackle?
Yeah, early on when we looked at it, I thought, one thing we knew we had a great brand, we had a great school with a lot of passion. I thought one of the things we had to work on right away was our student athlete experience, because in this world of revenue sharing and NIL and transfer portal, student athletes are becoming savvy consumers. And what they want to know where they're going to live, where they're going to train, how they're going to be taken care of from their mental and behavioral health. How are they going to feel from a nutrition standpoint? Do we have the best strength coaches? Do we have those things? And I thought we needed to retune that a little bit. And, we've done a lot of great things. The baseball stadium's incredible. We've done a lot of wow. Sometimes, though, when it comes time to just do the basic fundamentals of the game, and, I call make sure our student-athlete experience is blocking and tackling. And we got to work on our blocking and tackling. And so the first thing we did was start there with our refresh and what we're calling it the Buck Refresh. And we're putting all of our student-athlete services under one shop. We're brightening it up a little bit. We're putting more Kelly green and less whatever green that was in there. We're changing out carpets and putting areas where student-athletes can relax because they spend a lot of time preparing to play games, but also working on their studies, also dealing with. So we're putting compliance in there, nutrition's in there, our mental and behavioral health is now going to be in there, along with academic services, and all the student-athlete development, preparing for life. How do you get a job when you're done? We're doing all of those things. Right now we got a campaign for every student that graduates, student-athlete that graduates, Marshall, male or female, will leave here with a business suit so they're ready for their first interview and their first job. Because a lot of times, you used to say back in my days, hey, put on your church clothes to go do a job interview. Well, now nobody dresses up for church anymore that much.
Right.
And so now we got to go ahead and make sure they got a suit and stuff. So all those are the things that were low-hanging fruit that I thought we were going to attack right away, and we've been able to do that in the first, in the first 100 days or so.
Yeah, already, as you mentioned, the student experience was good. You look at the Buck and you're like, okay, this is great. Now how can we make it better, and what can we do?
That's the name of the game. It's like I want our student athletes every semester they come back, something is different, something is improved every semester, because every semester you're re-recruiting them. Every semester you're showing them how much you appreciate the hard work that they do. So if we sit on our hands and we say, well, this is good enough, we're going to get passed by. How are we going to beat the Coastal Carolinas, the James Madisons, the Appalachian States? By never resting, by always believing there's something else we can do. There's another level. There's another opportunity to be better.
What do you think is, in the first few months that you've been here, and you've tackled a lot of projects, what would you say you're most proud of early on that you've maybe gotten done or at least gotten started?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think actually looking deep into our Big Green, which is our fundraising arm, and working on ways that we can provide opportunities to support our student athletes through scholarship, but also through revenue sharing, but also find a way to do it where it benefits the benefactor, the donor as well. That was something we had to do. We've always relied on the collective, and we still appreciate that collective and what they're doing, but we need to bring a lot of that stuff in-house. And so one of the things I did quickly was promote Teddy Klumper to do into his role, and then now we're building the staff around him and a refocus on our annual fund, like saying, you know what, where are those everyday Marshall fans? For a long time you're doing those capital projects, you're going for the seven-figure guys. But guess what? Huntington, West Virginia, and Marshall University's fan base alumni wasn't built off of the seven-figure guy. It was built off of the person who says, you know what, I love Marshall, here's the $100 that I can give you. And we're going to take that guy, and we're expanding that. So I think we've gone deeper into re-engaging with our true fan base and those that have been with us since day one.
Any initiatives maybe on the horizon that you're willing to talk about that you haven't yet, as far as things that maybe fans should be excited for or the donors should be excited for?
Yeah, I would love to say that answer is winning championships. And
everybody likes winning championships.
Every donor, I haven't met a donor yet that doesn't like a trophy. But, I think the great thing, what I'm excited about for coming up, we're going to do some things that we're looking at the Joan, which I think is one of the great and iconic venues in college football, especially if you even Group of Six. But I think it's a great venue. How can we improve that? What is going on in the South End Zone? How can we improve the South End Zone? But better than that, how can we prepare ourselves, and we're looking at it, to get rid of the troughs and make your going to the bathroom experience better? How can we reduce the lines at the stadium? How can we improve our Wi-Fi? So when you come to our game, if you want to watch the SEC game of the week or whatever in your seat, that your phone is going to guarantee that it's going to be able to work and do it. So we're going to get in. I tell people there's ADs that always deal with the glamour part of it, and there's ADs that make sure the water is flowing and the toilet's good flushing and all that stuff. I got to do a little bit of that first. And my first part of it, I got to get into our infrastructure that has a little bit been neglected and come in and try to fix it, clean it up, and do it. And I think that's the projects that we're doing that I love, that our fans are going to be able to recognize soon. But you know who appreciates that the most? Our student athletes. It's surprising to me how much they know about the little things that we're doing when I meet with them and talk about their team morale and their staff and what they feel like we should do. Because I ask them directly. I don't wait for a survey at the end of the year. I go to them, what can we do to make your life better? And these things that we're doing really help with that.
Gerald Harrison's with us, Vice President, Director of Athletics, Marshall University. So maybe what are some of the things that they've asked for directly, or you've asked, hey, what can I do to help you? And they've said.
Perfect example. We have we call it Herd Fuel, which is our training table for our student athletes, that right now we serve breakfast and lunch. They've come to me and said, Gerald, listen, this is great. We appreciate it. But the majority of us, we have 414 student athletes. The majority of us won't make breakfast because of practice or whatever. Can we do lunch and an early dinner? Yeah, we could do that. But nobody ever asked them. We just did it based on what old people feel like we should do, because we get up in the morning. Most of the time we got to go to work, so we'll eat breakfast and we'll do this thing. They prefer lunch and dinner. So we're doing lunch and dinner next semester. A formalized travel policy. What we're going to take care of from an injury standpoint, how we're going to treat them, make sure we got our massage therapists in the right place. Another thing that they asked for was, can we get another nutritionist? We're going to do that because we have one for 414. They want more training, more teaching, because they want to do how to cook, how to shop. So we got some people in the community, and thankfully some of our Big Green members have been awesome in coming through with us and helping them, and they're going to actually take them in the kitchens and teach them how to cook easy, inexpensive meals, because the majority of our student athletes live off campus. So they're going to teach them how to make pastas and chicken dishes and stuff. So they ask for that. That comes directly from the student athletes. And I am so happy that they feel comfortable enough with me to have those conversations.
Is that something that's maybe not the norm across college athletics and starting to become?
It's not. It's not the norm. And what's happened is with the revenue sharing and NIL, some schools are taking the attitude of, here's the money, y'all figure your life out. We're not going to do that here at Marshall. Our winning edge and what makes this community special is because we care. And I'm a firm believer in they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so we go into it with, here's what we're going to do for you. When you come in the door, whether it's for 6 months or 4 years, you're going to be better when you leave out of it. We're going to make sure you have etiquette class and you know how to eat. When you go on that interview, you're not freaked out because you got a salad fork, a dessert fork, and everything. We're going to have all that done. We're going to teach you the bread and drink trick at the table so you're prepared for that. We're going to make sure you've been through a job interview before you leave. Every student athlete would have been through at least one job interview before they graduate and left here, so they won't be surprised about what's in the workplace. My goal is not to be the best athletics department in the country. That's hard to do with limited resources. My job is to make sure we're the most complete athletics department in the country. That means we address every need for our student athletes, and that's the Marshall difference. We want to make sure your experience is different here than it is anywhere in the country.
So how do you balance that then with, how the pressures of college athletics, over the years, if you're not winning, you're not doing your job right.
Right.
And that's maybe not fair, because if the students are graduating, they're getting an education, and they're leaving better, you've done your job.
Mm-hmm.
But all fans sometimes see, and this is not all fans, this is just maybe the vocal minority, like, hey, if you're not winning.
Very vocal minority.
If you're not winning, what are you doing? You're not doing it right. So how do you balance that and making sure that these young men, these young women are taken care of and they have the complete experience, at the same time try to put them in the best position where they can win and compete for championships?
Well, it starts with the hiring process and making sure that, and we have a great group of coaches here, but I always believe you have to make sure that the coaches are committed to what we're calling the herd mentality. They understand the pillars of our program, and they understand that we have a philosophy that we can win in everything. And when I say win in everything, we're talking about win academically, win by being in the community, win by taking care of the health, well-being, and then win in the court and in competition. All of them go together. You can't cheat the system. You can't cheat one of them. You got to do all four of them. And that's how I evaluate coaches. I evaluate coaches on that 4-pronged test. Where does that rank? Where do you rank with that in all those issues? And that's how every coach is evaluated in the day. Because here's what I do know. Everything is better when you win. Food tastes better. Your bed sleeps better. Your TV seems like it gets more channels, even though it's the same one. Your significant other looks better. The Kool-Aid and sweet tea sweeter. Everything's better when you win. So I'm not unrealistic, and I don't want to shift like, hey, Gerald's only worried about this and not worried about the winning part. But listen, in my time at Austin Peay, we won 14 championships. But we also have some of the highest GPAs, 16 straight semesters of 3.0 or better. And we also had over 8,000 hours of community services in the department. So you can do it all. You just got to be committed to it. And what we're going to do here at Marshall is show not only can we do it, we're going to do it well, and we're going to let you know that we did it. You know, Marshall has been the nation's best-kept secret for too long. My goal is making sure that when something good happens, our student-athletes excel in any aspect of their lives, we're going to let everybody know about it. It is time to stop being humble and start letting everybody know how good we are at what we do on a daily basis. When we say we are Marshall, we got to let people know that we really mean that. And that has nothing to do with just a touchdown. That's everything that we do. I'm getting fired up, man.
I'm good. I'm glad I got you fired up. Gerald Harrison's with us, Vice President, Director of Athletics here at Marshall University. Speaking of fired up, of course, we're here at the Henderson Center tonight. As we mentioned top of the show, already the arena's a lot fresher. I have a couple of pet projects. I'll point those out to you off the air, unless you want them now. I want those chairs different color. I know that's probably long term. It costs money to put new chairs in, but
well, here's the thing. Yes, it takes a lot of money to put chairs in. However, we have a lot of different shades of green.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if you talk to anybody who's been dealing with me, talk to our facilities guy who's probably tired of hearing it. I'm doing everything I can do to get more that different green into Kelly green. And then, we won't change all these seats to all Kelly green. We'll probably go to another neutral color.
Yeah.
But yes, we can do that, and that's actually on the runway.
Okay. See, that was my big one there. I'd like to see the Marshall colors in the Marshall arena. And, of course, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes money. You've only been here a couple months. You've already done a fantastic job. So no pressure there. But
we did get the rails painted green, the right color.
Yeah. Okay.
We're working through it. The seats, that's another level.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. I like the end zone seating. I like the black rails. You probably, I was thinking black rails here. I need to stay in my lane and not worry about facilities.
Oh, no, You're fine. No, you're fine. Listen, the whole thing about black rails, I'll tell you this, though. We do a lot of things where we turn and flash the lights off. If you're depending on that rail and that rail's black, that's not really the best thing for you.
See, okay, this is why you're the athletic director, and I'm not. Gerald Harrison's with us, Vice President, Director of Athletics. So Marshall's coming in tonight 2-0. Coach Jackson's off to a tremendous start. Coach Folks, a very close game yesterday at Indiana. So the women's basketball team off to a great start. Men's soccer competing for the right to play in the championship game tonight in Morgantown. You've got teams that are just off and running here, for basketball and soccer. You're in a good spot right now.
Really, yeah, we're in a good spot. And the funny thing is, these guys are ready. Like, I love going to women's basketball practice. I love going to spend time with Coach Corney. And I was up north. I hear we don't talk about it much, but I was up north on Sunday night in the rain and the cold, and our team dominated Sunday night. So I'm hoping they do the same thing tonight. I'm looking forward to that. It's a great time. It is a great time to run with the hurt. Even if you look at where we're not excited about our football record at 4-5, but our kids are competing with 72 new players and a completely new staff. And they're going out fighting and still fighting for bowl eligibility. The fall is going to be okay. I feel like we're going to be excited, and it's going to trickle into the spring and start another run. This is a great time. I love our coaches, and I love our student athletes and their fire. And now we're getting that competitive edge going. Because I'm quick to talk trash. We're like, hey, the men's basketball team's 2-0. Women, y'all are 1-1. We got to pick it up. Y'all got to catch up. No, it's just.
That's a great management strategy right there. Hey, Julie, you're 2-1. They're undefeated. What are you going to do about that?
Yeah, no, and we joke about it, but they do it themselves. When one of the great things I saw when I was at Duke University, Duke had 27 sports. And the student athletes all support each other. They went to each other's games, but they were so competitive. And when one sport won, the other one wanted to do better than they did, and the next one wanted to do better than they did. And then you create this energy, and this energy around competition, and then everybody's ready to play. It's incredible, and that's the same synergy that I want to create here at Marshall, where everybody in our 18 sports want to do a little bit better so they can compete with each other as well as competing with their opponents.
What's the quickest way to maybe foster that energy? You see the women's team maybe out here supporting the team tonight. You see the softball team out here. You see the baseball team. You see everybody, all the students. Maybe have the student athletes lead the charge as far as what the student response should be to support this team.
Absolutely. So one thing that we're going to do, we've started is what we call the Herd Cup, and then student athletes teams are awarded. They get this massive trophy at the end of the year, and then some money for big time steak dinner, probably at 21. But some big time steak dinner. But what you get it is by great grades. You get it by supporting other sporting events other than your own. So you get points for going to other sporting events as a team. You get it by the most where you rank in our community service rankings. We compete in everything we do. So we got a chart that we keep with, and we send out. Here's what every team is from a community service standpoint. Here's where every team is from a grade point average standpoint. Here's from everybody is. So we keep up with the Herd Cup. And they love that. They like to compete. And they like to see, and they all want their teams on the top of it. And then what's going to happen is our regular Marshall students, are going to see that same level of competition. We already got the Marching Thunder. They're in there. They're fired up. We're developing great relationships with them and reestablishing relationships. You get cheer going. You get all these dance teams going. Next thing you know, everybody's in the gym, and and whether it's the Joan, the Cam, everything's got the something, the Jack, the Bet, the Dot. We're all in. Right. We're all supporting each other, and that's how you change a culture. That's how you energize a base, because the young people will bring the more seasoned fans around, because they'll start doing the same thing the students are doing, and that's the kind of attitude that we want to have.
Okay, so this point system, I got to know about it now. So you get individual awards, or is it all, hey, you're bringing us down, you better show up, I'm doing my part, why aren't you?
It's a team thing.
It's a team thing.
You'll see teams show up, you'll start seeing the softball team sit together or somebody else sit together. And the more that you're there, and the more it's recognized, we have our student athlete development team. They'll sit there and they'll chart it and mark it out, and we talk about it. And at our end of the year award show, which we're going to do a massive Emmy, Grammy-like show, at the end of it, we're going to award this trophy. And we're going to and everybody's going to know the standings and who wins it. And the team that wins it, like I said, they get a fantastic meal, or they'll get to switch it out for some of them like gear, whatever they want. But they're going to be rewarded for it, and we're going to keep going this every year. And that trophy just travels to the different locker rooms where it is.
Sort of like Stanley Cup. It's one trophy.
That's right.
It goes with you.
But we're not drinking, I think Stanley Cup, they drink different things.
Anything and everything out of that.
Yeah. I think we're probably going to stick to sweet tea or something.
That sounds like a good point. Now, I don't know if you've probably already thought of this, but we get excited about what all the teams are doing. Will those be in-house standings, or will we, as fans and people outside, get to kind of see that little extra, hey, I'm a big supporter of tennis. Hey, why aren't you are at the games, or just a little extra competition?
I will tell you, it's an in-house thing.
Yeah.
But as I've learned quickly in college athletics, there's no such thing as an in-house thing. So somehow it'll get out.
Okay.
but we won't be releasing it on herdzone.com.
Well, there won't be a standings page on herdzone.com.
No, not in here.
But the athletes will know, and they'll absolutely get to hopefully being at every event.
Yeah.
Our guest is Gerald Harrison, Vice President, Director of Athletics, Marshall University. As I mentioned, we're here at the Cam Henderson Center today. Before we let you go, since this is going to be a work in progress, what should fans be excited about? Not just what we're going to see on the court tonight with Coach Jackson and his team, but just the experience of coming into the Cam Henderson Center over the next few months.
Well, I think they should be excited that our in-game entertainment is going to definitely be a little bit more energized. We got some games and some good things going that'll keep the fans engaged. We're trying to the fan cam and dance cams and everything else will be going. I think we're in the process of renovating a couple of our restrooms right now that are under construction that aren't finished yet, unfortunately. But hopefully we'll have that done. The landings and the entryways to our facility will be better. You got one example on the primary entrance in the front where it's a nice terrazzo entranceway versus the broken gravel and stuff that it used to be. We're going to work on the lighting on the concourse. And so as we go through the season, you'll start seeing those things. There'll be a few more food options that have been different than in the past. And so there's a lot of different things that'll be popping up here or there. And honestly, some things that we'll come up with that we'll roll out for conference that we haven't even come up with yet.
Okay. So
I'm never bored. Like you can always, if there's a game on the schedule, there's something else we can do different.
You've got a notebook of just ideas. You're just checking them
all day long, and it kills my staff.
So something new will always be popping up here at Marshall University.
Every game, there's a possibility there will be something different than it was the last game.
Speaking of playbooks, I'm still waiting for my copy of the Gerald playbook. I haven't.
You remember that?
I remember that because I'm excited about that because I've heard you should read this thing. It's a document.
It is a document. And I have to get it to you. Maybe I might get it today if you hang around. I might see if I can get somebody to go pick it up for you.
I'll be here until I'll be probably one of the last people out of the building tonight.
All right, well, that's fair enough.
Because we're going to do the show here. Then we're going to, of course, watch the Herd win, and afterwards we'll do the post-game show here where we talk about the win. So I'll be here all night.
All right, well, I'll try to get Xander to print one off for you.
Love it. Gerald Harrison, our guest. He is the Vice President Director of Athletics at Marshall University. Good seeing you again. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll do this again soon, I hope.
Absolutely. Go Herd.
When we continue, the Hall of Famer Bill Cornwell is here. We'll get him on when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, Jeff Smith, 304-781-1234. And in Wayne, Vicky Tabor, 304-272-5149.
Save big money on new appliances when you shop at Menards. We have an excellent in-stock appliance selection from great brands at the best prices. Ready to take home today. Whether you want new laundry appliances or need upgrades for your kitchen, you'll be sure to find appliances that'll make your life easier. Visit Menards and save big money on appliances today. Plus, check out Menards.com to view all of our great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HAPPY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HAPPY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HAPPY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
We're going to follow up a record-setting October with a November to remember here at Cardinal Chevrolet, where red tags mean real deals. All new Silverados, 0% financing or save up to $10,000 off MSRP. Trailblazer and Equinox, 0% financing or save up to $5,500. Even our EV models, 0% financing for 60 months. All with up to 125% of KBB value for your trade. New ownership, improved processes, better deals, better deals, better deals. The bow tie means a better buy. Shop CardinalChevy.com. Together, let's drive. See dealer for details.
Imagine the perfect chicken tender. Crispy, juicy, for lack of a better word, tendery. Now imagine these perfect tenders at Wendy's. 'Cause they are. Wendy's new chicken tenders are here with delicious new dipping sauces like Wendy's Signature, Creamy Ranch, and Honey Barbecue. And they're so good, we even changed our name from Wendy's to Tendies. I believe that's what the kids call manifesting. For Tendies you're going to know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Spend an evening with 5-time Grammy winner Layla Hathaway, daughter of legendary Donny Hathaway, coming to the Joan C. Edwards Playhouse on Thursday, November 20th. Her rare talent and stunning vocals range from R&B to pop, jazz to gospel. Layla Hathaway is an artist, singer-songwriter, and producer not to be missed. For tickets, call the Marshall Artist Series at 304-696-6656 or Ticketmaster. Sponsored by Kindred Communications.
How was your day? What did you do in school? I'm Dale Lee, president of the West Virginia Education Association, and these 2 simple questions can encourage learning in your home. Showing interest and asking about the school day can help motivate your children and keep them excited about learning. So stay involved, stay curious, and ask specific questions. Student success involves the whole family.
A message from the West Virginia Education Association.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talk Line, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We continue on from the Henderson Center for today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We're getting set for Marshall and Elon. That's coming up. 7 o'clock is going to be your tip time. You can listen in starting at 6 on 93.7 The Dog, and, of course, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The Hall of Famer Bill Cornwell now joins us at our broadcast location at You like the digs? I mean, look at it. It's a lot nicer this year.
We have moved, let's see. Let's figure it out, Paul. We have moved about 40 feet south of where we have been the last, 6, 7, 8 years?
At least a decade. We've been there a while.
So we're a little farther south in the building, but we're still in the west end of the Henderson Center. Of course, for those of you who haven't been to the arena yet for like a women's game or a men's exhibition game, it's the new court here is just so nice and bright, Paul. It is really looking good.
It looks great. As I was talking to Gerald about everything earlier, it looks fresher, and he's already talking about, hey, we're going to do some other things here.
Well,
I joked to him. I said, hey, look, we got to get those chairs. We got to get that green. He's like, we might go with a neutral color.
Well, that.
It costs money, though, he said. I understand.
And hopefully I would hope that maybe eventually they'll be able to open the upper seats that are blocked off, but that's going to take some things like some safety rails and things like that to make it happen. And but the building looks good. They made some changes down in the east end of the building on the new bleachers that were put in late last year. Those are not, the lower part is not bleachers anymore. They are, it's a club level that has like a desk and swivel type chairs. And that is like a premium seating area. And I guess you get waiter service with it.
Yeah, you get tables. Fans have been loving that. Yeah.
I was going to say table service. It looks like you're at a club.
You get service. I mean, look, anything to make the fan experience better, but there's going to be something always changing here at the Henderson Center. If you heard Gerald just a few minutes ago, he's going to be freshening up the arena. He's a big aesthetics guy. So
he is.
If we've got time tonight, we'll get that interview posted on our website later. If not, we'll get it up tomorrow. Yep. And just go over to WRVC.com if you missed it. Or subscribe to the podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. So we got Marshall and Elon coming up. Thundering Herd and Elon both 2-0. difference here is this will be the first home game for the Thundering Herd. Elon's 1-0 at home, 1-0 on the road. An overtime thriller at UNC Greensboro, 92-90. They had to force overtime to get to that point, and then they just ran away with Belmont Abbey, 99-51. So they're averaging 95.5 points a contest, but I was a little skeptical just because Belmont Abbey, but then 92 points against UNC Greensboro, they can score.
And let me tell you what, that actually is a big game for them. I'm not sure if you're aware of the geographics, Paul, but Elon is like about 20 miles, 15 miles east of Greensboro. That's like a rivalry game. That's like backyard brawl there. And to go into UNCG's building and to get a win like that, it was big for them. So, and Corny Jackson, of course, in his weekly presser this week, talked about the fact that they got some guys that can score. They got some good guards, guys that can shoot. And this is going to be a challenge for the Herd, but Marshall has shown it is very capable. Love the work that Marshall did, certainly on the road. And as we're all leaving kind of depressed after the JMU football game last Saturday, was it not really fun to listen to the Herd come from behind and win at Toledo, a place that, no one that wears green and white loves. And, and we know how tough beating Toledo has been over the years. That was big on Saturday, and it just gives you confidence about how this team is headed.
Speaking of Coach Jackson and his comments, here's what he had to say about Elon when I asked him, what's this team about?
They're a good team, similar to Toledo. They have shooters all over the floor. Their bigs are good. They're one forward. He plays a point forward. He'll get the rebound and he'll start the break and spray it out to the shooter. So they're a good team. They're physical. They're experienced. The guards are really quick. So we'll have our hands full.
So that's going to be the challenge for Thundering Herd. Wyatt Fricks also said that they're really big. That was some of the things that they were working on in practice. Just the fact that this was a big physical team.
They're physical and they play fast. Those are two sort of things we've talked about so far. So that's been a big focus point, especially today in practice, was be able to get into their bigs, be able to get back in transition, build walls, stuff like that.
Big challenge tonight for the Thundering Herd.
A big challenge, but let's emphasize the word big, Paul, because tonight Marshall's 7'4" center Matt Van Komen goes against his old team. Now, you might think, well, there's a lot of these guys are all know him and are really looking forward to going against him. Well, Coach Jackson said that's not necessarily the case because the vast majority of this Elon club was not around last year when Matt Van Komen was a member of the Phoenix. So it's not like they have big memories of him. Certainly the coaching staff does.
No, that's exactly right. Here's what Coach actually had to say about that.
They're a different team, than they were last year. I'm sure he has some play calls still in his apartment, but they're a whole different team. They still play their zone, but they played exclusively zone last year when they had Matt, especially when we went down there and played them. But they're playing faster. They're probably more athletic than they were last year, so we're looking forward to the challenge.
Play calls in his apartment.
Yeah, he's probably getting a folder. Elon. He's got a binder just like I have right here.
I would say actually he's broken down tape. There's going to be tape. That's interesting how he put that, though. But, there is knowledge, though, Paul, because it's the same coaching staff.
Same coaching staff.
It is.
It's going to be an interesting game tonight because Coach Jackson last year did not actually go up against Billy Taylor. Mm-hmm. Taylor was sick last year, so Ryan Saunders filled in. So this will be Taylor's first true head-to-head matchup against Coach Jackson and Marshall. And Taylor's had a long, illustrious career. He was even in the Mid-American Conference, but he wasn't at the same time Marshall was in.
He coached at Ball State a little after Marshall left to go to Conference USA, but he's been at several places, and overall his record's pretty good. He has a sub-500 record, though, at Elon.
We're going to take a quick timeout. We come back. We're going to get ready for basketball. That's going to be our pregame coverage beginning at 6 o'clock. That's coming up next here, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hey, Tri-State. Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year. Football season. Frank's has you covered. From Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders. Stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's.
Cold weather's on its way, and what do you want on those cold, chilly evenings? A warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa. Well, you know who else wants the same comfort? Mice. Messy, uninvited guests. They sneak in and leave droppings, chew through your food and packages. Don't let mice take over your home this fall and winter. Call K&B Pest Control. We will kill for your business. Call today, 304-523-4281.
This fall, let the Car Ferry bring a little magic to your driveway at Mark Porter Auto Group. With locations in Pomeroy, Jackson, Ohio, and Ashland, Kentucky. Want to shop 24 hours a day? Cozy up with a cup of cider and browse our full inventory anytime at markporterautogroup.com. Fall into a safe, reliable vehicle and let the Car Ferry guide you to Mark Porter Auto Group in Pomeroy, Jackson, and Ashland. Or shop 24/7 at markporterautogroup.com.
Spring Valley Timberwolves playoff football action starts this Saturday. Tune in on your new home for Timberwolves football. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. This week, Spring Valley is back in the Wolves' Den, hosting the Elkins Tigers. Spring Valley Timberwolves football on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 is presented by Marshall Orthopedics. From big hits to game-winning drives, don't miss a moment of the action. Every play, every touchdown, we've got you covered. Spring Valley football from Kindred Communications.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player and proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14, and I watched her struggle. But MDA helped her get the best treatments and care, and they also help kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. From day one, they've treated me like family at my local care center. MDA is the only one that funds over 150 care centers across the U.S. to help provide state-of-the-art care for adults and kids like me.
MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and other related neuromuscular diseases. They fund the research for breakthrough treatments, care, and cures. And MDA provides support to thousands of families like mine and Ethan's in communities like yours. Thanks to MDA, kids and adults can live life to its fullest. Join us and learn more at MDA.org today.
Listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We're wrapping up today's edition of The Drive here from the Cam Henderson Center, the Paul Swann Pavilion, Bill. You like that?
As long as you didn't put Memorial in it, that's the only
No, thank goodness. Thank goodness. No, not the Paul Swann Memorial Pavilion, but if they want to memorialize me.
Let's call it the Paul Swann Deck.
Paul Swann Deck, that's fine with me, too. Yeah. You know what? Maybe I should sell some seats up here as well. We could have our own party deck for the show.
Yeah, Marshall would want their cut, though.
Oh, that's fine with me. But they got to cater. I'm serious. We'll just get some seats over here, studio audience. We'll just cater. You can have the experience every home game during Marshall basketball with the show.
I vote for Fat Patties.
All right. You have his selection. We're going to be back with you in, a minute. We will talk Marshall and Elon on college basketball today. That's coming up here next on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 and 93.7 The Dog.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.